Hi, I'm Niharika, and I'm here with my teammates Shardul and Nachiket, and we're going to present our product, which is RestoBot. So let's start the presentation with this small video.
I am hungry. Let's order something.
Something healthy, please.
Something close and fast.
Something cheap.
Cheap places have junk food.
All healthy places are very far.
The nearby places are expensive.
A few moments later.
You idiots! When you can't find a solution, create a solution.
So, this is a real life problem that we actually faced. And after this, we set out on this project. We started with a survey of 150 individuals of different ages and backgrounds. And the first question that we asked was that how many of you actually search for recipes or restaurants online? And 90% of the people said that they do search for this online. Out of those 90% people, we found that only 5% were actually able to find whatever they were searching for in the first 5 to 10 minutes. This told us that a lot of us spend a lot of time just searching for recipes in restaurants and waste a lot of time basically. That's why we've come up with this project called RestoBot. It is a chatbot that will help users to find the recipes and restaurants that they need. Our chatbot can do many different things, such as fine tuning the search for the restaurants, and then searching for recipes based on the ingredients that they have. And also for the health conscious people, uh, they can simply just tell the chatbot about the macro requirements, and then the chatbot will provide them with recipes or restaurant recommendations. So then, how does it work? Well, let's say you look like you're watching the TV and you see a very good looking lobster dish, and you want to find out how it is made. So you quickly take a picture. After doing this, you can simply feed it to a chatbot, and then maybe also ask a question like, can you tell me a restaurant where I can find this? And then you can filter the search more by mentioning any budget constraints or any location constraints. Once a picture is fed to our chatbot is basically based on the Llama 2 large language model developed by Meta. The uh, In our pipeline, the image gets calls the Byte.ai API to get the name of the dish, and once we have that, the LLM works on that to give the recipe or whatever the question that is asked. A crucial step. Basically, our model uh, has been created by training on 13 billion different parameters, and it works on a vector store of the data that we have already collected that we will talk about later. And the model is able to understand natural language questions and then give output in polite natural language answers. Now, moving on, how does this actually work?
So as we can see here, there's this thing called a vector store. So whatever the model is using, the data that the model is using is in the form of vectors. Let's have a look at how this works. For that, we have to understand what our model is made of. Of course, it's made by the 13 billion parameters that Shardul said, but what we feed into our model is this database. So our database currently includes restaurant data with Yelp Fusion API, which currently has more than 1,000 restaurants. And it has recipes. So it has things like budget, distance, menu cards, ingredients, nutritional facts, all of which is information that we need to provide our users with answers. This data is not used as it is. We create embeddings, which is an even more crucial step. Embeddings, basically what it does is it takes all of this information. The embedding model works on it, and then we have basically a bunch of numbers. These numbers in the space of that the model works in make sense to the model. And each of the words, each of the sentences hold some meaning when they're in a vector store. This is the vector store that we talked about earlier, and this is what is fed into the model so that it can make sense of the user's questions and provide an answer. We use Hugging Face embeddings using Llama index for our embedding model, and that's how we created our vector store. So coming back to our lobster problem, the one that the user had asked earlier, now that we know what is fed into the model, what kind of data we're using, what model we're using, we are now capable of looking for an answer. So the model will basically look into this database. In a menu card, somewhere is going to find a lobster with a price that fits the user's budget, and it's going to provide an output. The UI, as you can see, holds a lot of information. So this is basically the answer what the chatbot has come up with. Along with that, if the user requires, we also provide a map. So the output UI also has a map that provides the location of the restaurants for those who want to actually go to the restaurant, with which we also have a speech to text and text to speech functionality. So you don't have to talk, you don't have to text or chat with your chatbot. You can just speak to it. Because if you're doing something, if you're maybe cooking or something, it's easier if you can just directly press the microphone button and speak to the chatbot. So let's have a look at the demo video where we show a person actually use this so we can understand better how it works.
Can you tell me a budget-friendly Italian restaurant in downtown Los Angeles?
Based on the information provided, there are several budget-friendly Italian restaurants in downtown Los Angeles. Here are a few options. 1 Pizzeria Mazza. This popular pizzeria has several locations in Los Angeles, including one in downtown LA. They offer a variety of pizzas and small plates at reasonable prices.
So which feature did you like the most?
I really like the text-to-speech functionality that it has. It really helps the user while cooking. You know, I can be cooking, I can be doing the dishes, and I can still hear the recipes while I do other chores. So I think it is really, really helpful in that aspect, and much better than just a text-based model.
Nice. And is it likely that you will use this chatbot in your day-to-day life?
Yes, definitely. I mean, one of the best chatbots I've actually seen on the market. So definitely recommend to all my friends and family.
Is this different from using traditional methods?
It is, in the sense that it is much more of a human connection to the chatbot, and you can curate the answers based on that. So I think it's really much better than all the chatbots I've ever encountered.
So our test user basically said that their favorite functionality was the text to speech, and they are very likely to use this chatbot in their day-to-day life. Coming to some market analysis. So basically what we did is we directly asked our consumers what they want. So we took a survey of around 150 people, and willingness to pay for the chatbot was one of the questions asked. Out of 80 out of 100 people almost answered with a yes. And about the price range, so we just gave them ranges from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, stuff like that. Most people said they are willing to pay between 5 to 10 for a chatbot like this. Some said 10 to 15. Very few said more than that. So we decided to set our price per month to 7.5, listening to the users. These are our competitors. So why our chatbot will work is basically it can do all of the things that each of these individually cannot. Plus, it is priced much lower than most of them except for Betty Crocker. But we have more functionality than that. So our chatbot is better than a lot of these products, and it is cheaper. So it has to work. And all of these products are very popular in the market. They have a huge customer base. So our product will have that too. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.